Hey, Snuggle Kitten. How we doing, folks? How we doing? I slept so much today. If you can't tell from the nasty case of bedhead I have today. Surviving another day, always a good thing. Always a good thing. We'll see how much patience I have today. I'm not sure how much I have at the moment. How you doing, Snuggle Kitten? How you doing, Gamer G? Hey, Pucky Gal. DSA's National Convention is this summer. All the worst proposals didn't get enough support to be heard, so I'm happy. Hell yeah. What's an example of one of the worst proposals? Wow. Wow. Hey, Metal Kitty Mom, how you doing? Hey, 10-letter name, how you doing? Not feeling that great, but good. How are you today? Today I was stressed the fuck out when I woke up. So much so that I just had, like, a headache, like, right here, sitting like a rock for most of the day. So I took a weed gummy and spent a lot of the day asleep. And that's been my day. I'm feeling much better. I've also done that. It's nice to have the option, you know? I don't know. A lot of folks are mad at me. I don't know. People are accusing me of not having watched the Soul Bunny video, I guess. I don't know what to tell you guys. We could watch it on stream, but I really don't want to. But also, I I did watch the video. It's not great. Would it matter if you hadn't? People were saying I was only commenting without the proper context of why Shark was being called racial slurs. Okay, I could give you guys like the condensed version if you guys really want to know like what's going on with the whole Shark 3.0 thing. I was kind of rambly about it when I covered it the other day, mostly because I was just like looking at the response on Twitter and just like, holy shit. So I didn't provide much like solid ground. But we could take a look at it if you guys want. This is why I only pay attention to the right-wing creator drama because let them fight is fun when they do it, sad when we do it. Yeah, exactly. Is there a bottom to this hole? Looks like there might be. There is. Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather focus on the bigger picture problems, you know. Like it's far better for like I don't know, as a healthy movement for us to fight like the enemies we're aligned on fighting rather than each other, you know. But we don't live in that world, unfortunately. What the fuck was that? That's weird. Ow. Hey, Archangel DeCab. How you doing? Hope you're feeling better. I mean, I think I look. You know what? We can do this segment. Fuck it. It's fine. Alright. As soon as I find this second bonfire in the gutter. Oh, there's a new Mad Orchard video. We could watch that as well. I like Mad Orchard videos. You nerd. Even other leftist friends of mine would have no idea who these people are. I think it's really not worth dying on the hill of streamer drama. Oh yeah, no, I'm not dying on the hill of streamer drama, but I do think people deserve to, like, at least have an overview of what happened. Excellent, Archangel. Also, damn, weird for us not to have anybody over on Twitch. Leveraging my power. Excellent. How do I get this thing in here? Bangers every day on the Riverboat Jack stream? You know it. Aw, very knifey duck. I like it when you're over there. And when you're over here. I like it when you're anywhere. Is this just a dead end? Did I go the wrong way? Oh. Duck in stereo? You know it. Which streamer has done the no-death Dark Souls 2 run, huh? Show them to me and I will call them a liar. It's just over here. Oh no. Bausch is a liar? I agree. Oh god, I just realized all of my equipment is broken. That explains a lot. Remember when we used to dunk on chuds instead of infighting? Oh, the left has a long and storied history of infighting. We can't help ourselves. No, Dark Spirit, WWWW, why? Leave me alone. There's one V over there, where the people are. Oh good, he died. Excellent. Everything going according to plan. Kind of, we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot a lot, don't we? Ah, excellent. The new place. Hey, are those my old souls? They are. Look at that. Off in the distance like that. Thing we do best is hammering wedges between each other. Okay, I think I'm just really dumb. Oh my god, there was a fake wall. There it is. Oh, you little shit. I've been looking for you for so long. Oh god. Alright. That's why I couldn't find it.
I'll be around if you make it back.
What's more of an issue, organizing to take action that affects the real world, or doing a takedown of someone you've never even met? So true. Hey, Antroma. Breathulu. Lefties constantly sabotaging our own projects through infighting is how we uphold the tradition of the French Revolution. Too true. Hey, Rundo. Don't want to be French? Too bad. They funded our revolution. They got us by the balls. Okay. So. Boop. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Yoink. Fuck it, site chat it is. Hey, baby, welcome. Alright, so I've been having people asking me what the actual origin of the shark drama is, and also accusing me of not having watched the video. That Turo dude, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But we have people asking those questions. I figured I'd try to give like step-by-step breakdown of like what was actually said in the Soul Bunny video. We can watch the clip that is relevant here, and then talk about it a little bit. All right, here we go. So, to give this clip context, Soul Bunny talking about how Vosh does racism and serves the goals of white supremacy, and then gets into talking about how the whole Cat Black and the Cat Black situation that unfolded around Vosh, or vice versa, the whole Vosh situation that unfolded around Cat Black, and basically talking about it. Soul Bunny sees Vosh is in the wrong, and then proceeds to show some clips from, not clips, some tweets from Shark 300. And that's where we'll just start this, okay? We'll start it right here, which is where it kind of diverges into the shark bit.
It's real bad. You guys saying that she leaked the sects, which, by the way, I saw large content creators repeating the fact that she leaked.
Again, so for those of you who don't know what this says, it says Shark 300 saying on Twitter back in March of last year, no matter what you think of Vosh, what Kat did the other day was 100% sexual harassment, and it's just plain gross. I always speak highly of Kat, especially when her talks on sex and consent, which makes this even more sad. Revealing intimate conversations and publicly trying to demean and humiliate someone about their genitals is so nasty and manipulative. It genuinely shocks me some people took it with such nonchalance. If I had a falling out with a female streamer and I talked about how we sent lewd texts and she has weird tits just apropos of nothing, I hope you all would tear me apart for that. It's so childish, weird, and he then types SH, meaning sexual harassment. Okay? Now, for those of you who don't know what this interaction between Vosh and Cat Black was, it started with the tweet Vosh made about women shut the fuck up challenge, shut the fuck up and be quiet challenge, while talking about J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling screenshotted that and then retweeted it to her followers. So, like, it kind of blew up, and then there was, like, a interchange between Cat Black and Vosh, and Vosh said something along the lines of, like, there are some leftist black women who kind of fetishize white men, I guess. And again, I don't think he looks good in this situation, by the way. Just my opinion, doesn't look great. And then Cat Black responded by leaking DMs, revealing that Vosh and she had, sexted back and forth. She did not, however, reveal the sexts themselves, which is a persistent aspect of this, is people saying that she leaked sexts. That's not true. If I have said that she did while talking about it casually and trying to remember, I refreshed myself today. She did not, in fact, leak sexts. However, she did leak their DMs, and also talked about Vosh's dick. So that you have that context, okay? So, again, I don't think anyone's coming out of this looking good, okay? And I don't think Vosh coming out of it looking super good either. But I think it would have been quite a bit worse if he had talked about how, like, Cat Black had, like, weird genitals or weird boobs or whatever, you know? So, moving on.
Leaked the sects, which never happened. That
Demon Mama is correct on this, by the way.
did not ever happen. No sects were ever leaked by anyone.
Black women don't get free reign. This is Shark, again, to sexually harass people. I think more highly of them than that. She threw herself under there, and I'm saying it shouldn't have happened. This is, by the way, and this isn't shown in the clip we're watching, but this is in response to someone responding to the initial 3 tweets that we just read off, basically saying that Shark 300 is throwing Cat Black under the bus.
All that Cat Black ever did was say that the greatest extent that they...
Now, I'm not entirely sure why this one is shown in this clip, particularly because it's other people responding to Shark, and it's still one of the same tweets we've already seen from Shark. But the response goes, did she not reveal such a thing until after Vosh on stream accused her of having a white fetish? I don't tend to support retaliatory tactics, which is why I don't like Vosh. Mind you, but that point does seem lost in the overall discourse. Someone named Claudia Brown responds, what he said, I think, was a low blow, but she responded by going even lower. I think that's just fucked, honestly. Neither of them came out looking particularly good from all this, but I feel like Kat leaking sexts and insulting his dick just undermines all her stuff on consent. So, I don't know that we've seen Shark particularly doing anything super bad here, by the way. Just to kind of clarify, Shark didn't even in those initial 3 texts...
By anyone.
We can take a look at them.
That did not ever...
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, in these initial 3 texts, you don't actually see... Like, Shark isn't actually saying or claiming that Cat Black leaked their sexts. Like, if you read it, again, no matter what you think of Vosh, what Kat did the other day was 100% sexual harassment and just plain gross. We speak highly of Kat, especially with her talks on sex and consent, which makes this even more sad. This is just saying he thinks what happened here was sexual harassment. He's not making any claims so far. The second tweet is where he makes claims. Revealing intimate conversations, leaked DMs, I think could count as that. I don't think intimate conversations necessarily means sexts. And publicly trying to demean and humiliate someone about their genitals, which Cat Black did. To be very clear, she did do that. See here. I just had them up. Okay, here we go. By the way, just as an FYI, Cat Black did announce that she thought she was wrong. She tweeted out, it was wrong, I shouldn't have done it, and I vow to from this point forward no longer make comments about that would make white men specifically feel bad about the degree of whelm their dick has. They cannot control that, and it's cruel of me to poke at something they cannot change. I've grown from this moment. It was an educational experience for me, and I appreciate the criticism. I will continue to do this work privately. Okay? Like, it's not a particularly nice apology, but, like, yeah, I would read that as an apology. And I'm trying to find... Because the tweets are now deleted. Let's see. Yeah, here's one. First of all, I'm a social justice black mage. Do I like white dick? Not necessarily my top choice, but I'll settle for it. I was underwhelmed in this particular case, though. Also, I'm tweeting this in bed, and my boyfriend is judging me. Let's see. There was another one, too, I thought. Anyway, look, all I'm saying, I think that she gave an apology, unless one is arguing that wasn't a real apology, in which case I plead autism. It's hard for me to read tone, especially in text. So, moving on. That should give you at least some idea of the context here.
Being the fact that she leaked the sects, which never happened, that did not ever happen. No sects were ever leaked by anyone. All that Cat Black ever did was say that the greatest extent that they ever engaged was to sext a few years ago. You guys have been spreading that lie all the fuck over the place. And honestly, that's fucking shit. Just fucking misinfo. And it is, I'm seeing it now, by the way, people perpetuating this, and this is how you start to build up a cancellation profile for someone who didn't even do the things you're accusing of them.
First of all, F you Shark for being another black man complicit in some racist transphobic bull against a black trans woman. You're really giving leftist Candace Owens vibes. You were so mask off with your bad faith attacks on Cat Black. Shark was the first content creator to push this misinformation that debate bros till this day still latch onto. The hordes of racist white queer people that ran with this to attempt to silence Cat, and anyone calling out the bold trans misogynor. Shark gained a lot of clout and profited off of the attacks. Black trans people.
I'm just gonna pause it here. There are so many claims made here without any ounce of backing them up. So we're just going to try and break it down a little bit. So in the tweets that we have essentially Shark saying he disagrees with what Cat Black did. He thinks that it constitutes sexual harassment because she is talking about another person's genitals without their consent publicly. And he makes it clear that that's like why he thinks that. And he thinks that the reaction to public sexual harassment like that, as he perceives it, it was weird and widely accepted in a way that he found shocking. Right? He tries to reverse the situation to, like, if he had done something similar to a female streamer, he would have been, like, excommunicated. Okay? So that's what Vosh said. Or, not Vosh, sorry. That's what Shark300 said. I don't perceive any of that as an attack on Cat Black. I see it as him criticizing Cat Black. I see it as him voicing his concerns about something in the public eye within the circles we run in. But I don't see this as an attack. This is Shark sharing his opinion. He's not calling for anything to be done. He's simply pointing out what happened and what he thinks about what happened. And for this, Soul Bunny says, F you, Shark. For being another black man complicit in some racist transphobic bull against a black trans woman, you are really giving leftist Candace Owen vibes. Again, Candace Owens is somebody who actively pursues policies that kill black trans women, calls black trans women demons. Someone I'm sorry, taking 3 or 4 tweets from someone who is publicly disagreeing with what they perceive as sexual harassment and putting it on the level of someone who is actively advocating for trans people to be killed is abhorrent.
People don't have to accept contradictory allyship from cis black men, throwing black trans people to the wolves that are debate bros.
Okay, yeah. So then she goes, you are so mask off with your bad faith attacks on Cat Black. Shark was the first content creator to push this misinformation that the bait bros to this day still latch onto. Now, I don't know if Shark was the first person to push that, first of all. But second of all, nothing that Shark300 said in his tweets was, like, a lie. It wasn't misinformation. He said that they leaked intimate private messages, and that's true. They just weren't sexts. But he never claimed that they were sexts, to my knowledge. Now, what would be helpful here is if that footage does exist, I would suggest maybe including it in the video. But there's nothing really backing up this claim in particular. Second of all, again, if I don't know if he was the first, maybe, but I don't think he's actually claiming what Soul Bunny is saying he's claiming here.
Cat wasn't the first or the last trans person he's gone after.
Oh yeah, sorry. We'll finish the paragraph she just finished. Okay. The hordes of racist white crew people who run with this in an attempt to silence Cat and anyone calling out the bold trans misogynoir. Shark gained a lot of clout and profit off the attacks. Now, I think that if you are going to claim that people are being racist against Cat Black when they think that sexual harassment happened, I think you need to make a more coherent argument. Because the point of view being pushed in this video seems, by and large, that these people just hate black women, when I don't think that's necessarily the case. If people are genuinely believe that sexual harassment occurred here and are making their disapproval vocal, I don't know that that's necessarily racism. Now, one could argue that maybe they are more likely to be to voice that disapproval towards a black woman. That's possible. There could be underlying racial bias there that they might need to address. But I don't think saying that these people are acting purely out of racist hatred for Cat Black is fair or accurate. Also, a lot of apples. Thank you for the tier 4 subscription. Happy birthday. Oh, it's my not birthday today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And goddamn, a tier 4 sub, lot of apples. Thank you so much. So we'll just go off of that. I don't know that their goal was to silence Cat, but rather to voice their disapproval. And I don't think that this is another thing here that I'm just kind of confused about. So far we've seen 4 tweets from Shark300, right? the tie that Soul Bunny is making here between people disagreeing with what Cat Black did or viewing what Cat Black did differently, she equates with also hating and trying to silence people who are calling out misogynoir or trans misogynoir, which is not a connection that she has made in this particular case.
The clout and access he...
Sorry. Shark gained a lot of clout and profit off of the attacks. Again, I don't see any real evidence of that, frankly. Like, can we see, like, how much clout did he gain? How much did he profit off of this? If you're going to allege that he was acting this way for the clout and profit, I would imagine you might have to show that he gained significant clout and profit. But that's not being shown in this clip.
He gained after strategically going after Professor Flowers was the...
God damn it, I keep hitting the play button on this video. Pro streamer moves. Black trans people don't have to accept contradictory allyship from cis black men throwing black trans people to the wolves that are debate bros. Sure. You never have to accept anybody's allyship, honestly, but I think that maybe it might be a bit of a leap to suggest that one criticism of one trans woman is effectively evidence of throwing all black trans people to the wolves. I think maybe there's a bit of a gap between those two things. And also a big gap between like trying to deliberately like destroy a black trans woman by throwing them to the wolves, and just disagreeing with a black trans woman and what they did or said. But now Soul Bunny is going to go on to talk about Shark and Professor Flowers. So here we go.
Gone after. It's that are debate bros. Cat wasn't the first or the last trans person he's gone after. The clout and access he gained after strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first.
Question, is Professor Flowers trans? If so, are there pronouns? Yes? No, she's not. Why you lying to me, Entrama? Wait. Oh, okay. Professor Flowers identifies as he, him, or she, her. Okay, cool. Okay. I was unaware. All right, moving on.
First time I sense coon vibes from him.
Yeah. So sorry, they're racial slur. I probably should have prepped you guys for that. Okay, here we go.
Cat wasn't the first or the last trans person he's gone after. The clout and access he gained after strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first time I sensed coon vibes from him. At the moment, he lacks any contrition for the hate he pushed. I don't have time to deal with Uncle Ruckus Jr.
Okay, well, let's break this down a little bit, okay? So claiming that he then gained clout and access for strategically going after Professor Flowers. So again, you should show evidence that he gained clout. And when you say he gained access, access to whom? Like, who did he gain access that he did not have access to before? Third, you say that he was going after Professor Flowers strategically. Like he wouldn't have otherwise, but he's doing this for his own advantage. Can you show that? Or are you just narrativizing this in a way to agree with you and vilify him more? I would imagine that if you could show it, you would have, but that's my assumption. I don't know. Second of all, the slur, and then the comparison to Uncle Ruckus Jr. Keep in mind, all she has said so far is that it is shown that Shark had 4 tweets. We haven't seen any clips of Shark saying anything. We haven't heard any of what Shark has to say outside of those 4 tweets. And then Soul Bunny just says, well, and, you know, he strategically went after Professor Flowers and also disagreed with Cat Black in 4 tweets. That's what we've seen. And for that, by the way, for like on just the assumption that he was horribly awful to Professor Flowers and that he tweeted 4 times about Cat Black, he deserves to be called a race traitor. Complete with racial slurs and a comparison to one of possibly the most well-known race traitors in the Boondocks. I don't know how you can go along with that and agree with that when there's so little being presented to back up the position that it's just fine to call him one of the worst things you could call anybody. But
when my black and brown trans siblings are lacking resources, support, dying, and being murdered. There's a lesson from this that I want leftists and especially Cornburn Tube to understand. To have allyship with black trans folks is so much more than publicly stating your support. To be intersectional with us, you need to include us in your dialogue. You'll need to share your platform to help push nuanced discussions. Learn what trans misogynoir is, which I discuss in my video Transphobia and Trans Misogynoir. Now back to this caucasity.
So that's basically the entire clip. We just watched the entire clip of the Soul Bunny video that has anything to do with Shark 300. Okay? That was the entire context of her calling him a racial slur and comparing him to Uncle Ruckus. So I'm not sure what contrition he's supposed to show for what hatred. What hateful things did he have to say about Professor Flowers? None of them were demonstrated. What hatred did he show to Cat Black? All he said was he thought what she did was sexual harassment and that he disagreed with it and was disappointed in her. Which, I don't read that as hatred. If you do, please explain it to me in the comments. Can you get me the timestamp for that, Stoudman? I don't have it ready. Also, by the way, I do agree with Soul Bunny's take. To have allyship with anyone, whether black trans folks or, Latin American diaspora or Palestinians, etc., you should do more than just voicing your support. I do agree with that. Actually, rolling up your sleeves and trying to take action means a whole lot. Does this clip have... What does this clip have to do with Shark? I mean, we can watch it. Find out, I guess. Let's see. You'll need to share your platforms to help push nuanced discussions. I agree. And I think in nuanced discussions, one should probably have more substance to back up one's positions. I do agree with her on that as well. I do think it's a bit. I do think it's maybe a bit presumptuous to say, "Look, you need more nuanced discussions, which you can get from my video." Like right after calling like someone a clout chaser and a race traitor, but you know, do these people touch grass? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if these people do. You know, in real life activism or whatever. I don't know if they do organizing. I don't know if they raise money, but if they do, that's great. I wish more people would do that. Okay. So I've been told. Let's see here. Oh, god damn it. God fucking damn it. It like stopped.
It speaks volumes about their own principles and morals, where it's more important for them to, you know, get their jokes in. It's more important for them to defend their right to be Asian food enjoyers or Asian food appreciators or whatever. I think what bothers me the most is that this one, or maybe two if they're disabled, this like one marginalization means that they're like completely infallible to any critique. It means they think only white people can be queer, only white people can be disabled. Like I've seen so much of that on Twitter where it's like, how can I be racist? I'm literally queer. It shows like this fundamental misunderstanding of like intersectionality, where if you're marginalized, it like gives you a pass or something. It's like a sticker that says like, I'm perfect. It speaks volumes.
Interesting. I present that with no commentary. I present that with no commentary whatsoever at the end of my critique of this video. Yeah. So basically, that's the context for why Soul Bunny called Shark 300 a racial slur and compared him with Uncle Ruckus. God damn it. Wow. Any residual questions? No, GamerG, I think the point of the clip was less stipulating that. That's her word, though. Why are you pearl clutching? It's also Shark's word. Like black people aren't a monolith. No minority is. Let's see. So their business? Well, they posted a public video. That was a short segment of a 50-minute long video to a wide swath of people. If you want it to stay their business, like do it in DMs. but you're pearl clutching about a word that's none of your business. Well, if you notice, most of my criticism of the clip was actually not about the word. I just think that, hey, it might be bad to do that. Look, if you don't want it to be a matter of public discussion, don't discuss it in public. That's all I'm saying. That's not for you to decide. That's how public discourse works. Had she said a euphemism but not the so-called slur, would that be acceptable? Well, no, because I just spent like 30 minutes talking about the substantial problems in the clip beyond just the slur. I'm not hand-wringing about the slur. I just think that that's bad, and the use of it is not substantiated. Look, if she just said, like, he's a race traitor, it would have meant the same thing. I just think it's weird that other folks are speaking for how, like, for this issue. But you don't substantiate beyond saying it's bad? If you think that that's what I said, you didn't watch you didn't watch my breakdown of why I disagreed with this segment of the clip. You just said it? Yeah, I do think using racial slurs is bad. Yes, I do think that. That's my very controversial take. But there are more substantial issues in the video that I talk about. Like the fact that she doesn't actually substantiate calling him a race traitor. She just says, oh, he benefited from this, and therefore that's why he's a race traitor. Instead of, like, actually substantively dealing with any of his criticisms or showing that he did actually profit from any of that. Having a racial component to an insult doesn't make it a slur. I feel like you would not have that opinion if I said that slur. So black people shouldn't discuss black issues in public, or it makes it somehow your business? Well, look, if you only want black people to comment on your video, you should maybe say, hey, this segment is for black people only, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I reacted to a portion of a video essay that was disseminated publicly. This is a weird criticism to have. Like, it's not like this video was, like, posted publicly and, like, directed to Shark 300. Like, the name of the video is the White Leftist Industrial Complex. Like, yeah. She must colonize everything. It's what white people do best. Well, you guys are free to think what you want. Kind of disappointing seeing it from longer term chatters, but you know, is what it is. You are free to disagree with me. Or white people could just be allies and not try to police black people's behavior all the time. Hey, I'm sorry, but Shark 300 is my friend, okay? I've worked with him a number of times. We've had good conversations. And I'm sorry, but if somebody's calling my friend a racial slur, and they aren't saying, like, whoa, well, it's okay, it's been reclaimed, and they're the target of that racial slur, I'm gonna side with my friend who is black and clearly not okay with this. To me, that seems like it's what white allyship should be. You know, people standing in solidarity with one another against racial attacks, but, you know, if you don't think that that's what that is, that's your prerogative. You gonna cut a video about it? I think I did a good job breaking down what this is, so, you know, if my editor gets around to it, probably. Also, this weird idea that I am somehow policing black people by saying I disagree with like the use of this public argument, I think is weird. Profiting off of policing black people's behavior. I only profit off of it if you guys watch it, okay? It is weird, you're simply monetizing it. Well, I am making the content in response to a publicly posted video. If I was not supposed to profit off of it, one should maybe not post it publicly. Policing implies power over shark. Also, chat, be nice, don't dogpile. Please stop. Anyway, as a white, I'm gonna now go colonize a Japanese video game. It is, after all, what I do best. No Death Run, Dark Souls 2, let's go. Okay. How do I get to this place again? Got the Dragon Talon. Was it the Shrine of Amana? No. Where was it? Where's that door? Was it in the Doors of Pharos? It might have been the Doors of Pharos. Is the joke that you don't care you're a colonizer? Man, y'all are wildin'. Even if I went back to my family's historical residence in Sweden, y'all would still be calling me a colonizer. Hey, Freedom Heavy, it's okay. How you doing? I thought this was where the door was. Going back to the other chat, Mod's got this one. Yeah. But again, no dogpiling. Please don't treat our guests with disrespect, please. Where am I? Where is the? Where do I go for the DLC in this game? Oh wait. I think the Winter Shrine and oh, where's that other one? Yeah, I already have the keys for all of them. I just forget where the doors are. Oh, okay, it's in Black Gulch. Gotcha. Cool. I'm okay. I can't get past Sims yet? What does that mean? Also, again, Nindrine, you can remove the timeouts on those folks. I wouldn't have put them in timeout in the first place, but... Let's see. Black Gulch. Yes. Sims the game? Are you stuck on it? Hey, Axial Gradiometer. Thanks for jumping on over to the riverboat site. No. 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 Okay, we're good. Chat, should I play Binding of Isaac or Hades? Oh, that's a hard question, though. Man, the visuals in this DLC are so good. From Software makes very, very good DLCs. Literal 1984 in here. Thanks for the untimeout. You're welcome. No, not stuck. Different. I never used consoles for Sims, so it seems like forever. Oh, I gotcha. Play Enter the Gungeon. Building in Dark Souls is making me dizzy. This game's so cool though. Look at the visuals here. Oh, Shulva, the Sanctum City. I wonder if Shulva has anything to... Oh my god, it's a dragon. Wonder if it has anything to do with the way okay, in the show Stargate, they call the bad guys who speak ancient Egyptian called Teal'c a Shulva. I wonder if this is like I wonder if it's a reference to that. Could be. Oh god. You think the second Dune movie will be good? I hope so. I haven't seen the first one yet. It feels kind of like a vibe movie. Like I need to have like the correct vibe to properly enjoy it, you know? Yeah, I didn't, yeah. Since when could you fight in a dress and heels in Dark Souls? There's one very specific enemy in this game, the desert sorceresses, who drop skirts and heels. And I love it, and I wish it was in more of the Dark Souls games, because I really, really love Fashion Souls. Get zooted and watch it? Okay. I can do that. Lol, epic. Right? Okay, look, I'm gonna do this, even though it's wasting a precious resource. I love my character design so much. Just like emo, going through the extreme hot topic emo girl phase. I love it. There are desert pyromancers in the Dredge Heap area of the Ring City. Excellent. Remakes usually disappoint me. Yeah, the Scholar of the First Sin doesn't really feel like a remake. It feels more like the fine-tuning what the game should have been in the first place. I can summon Andy Yum Yum. I also haven't read the Dune books. Yeah, Myra Ostro, those are still present in the what? Back and then enemy ahead. Okay, I can't go this way. Some of those odd decisions are still there, like enemies will stop spawning after you kill them a certain number of times. But overall, it's a solid experience. See, imagine having to go all the way to Iron Keep just to enchant your own weapon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is the path I missed. Maybe? Nope. No, it is not. Excellent. 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 Cool. Have to teleport back. Spent a credit in... I also spent a credit a 1984 because tankies really hate Orwell, and I figured reading Orwell's stuff would help me better argue with them. I don't know, arguing with tankies isn't really... not productive when I've tried to do it. Have you read any 40k books? I have not. Right now I've been trying to get through a, I've been trying to get through a book about conservative comedy and like how it's used to great effect. To maybe figure out like, hey, how do we better combat, you know, the likes of Stephen Crowder? My younger sister's a tanky, so I have oh, I'm sorry. My condolences. Is conservative always comedy? Really liking Space Wolves right now. The next I've been trying to decide what sci-fi series I want to get into, and I think I want to get into the Three Body Problem trilogy. Seems really interesting. Did I have a PS2 ever? I still have my PS2. Not only do I have a PS2, I still need to finish my playthrough of, wait, there's no way to make it go back up? No! No! Okay. Yo, Quinn's ideas, I very great content creator. Highly recommended. Also, just a really great voice. Like he's like Vati Vidya. He's someone I could listen to tell me bedtime stories for just it's silky smooth. The Sly Cooper games are really good too. You know what? Andy Yum Yum and other guy, we doing this together, okay? I love the Necrons. Their look is great. Yeah, Necrons are cool as fuck. Oh. Okay. The meds are kicking in. Is that good? Ow. I just brought my PS2 out of the attic. They're such trusty machines. Why is my spear almost broken? No, I did it again! I fucked it all up! Ah, Shulva, why? Hey, Metal Kitty Mom. Sorry, guy. I don't have another homeward bone. Fuck it. Damn. I still wish I went back and got that 3DO when I saw a used game store. 3DO. Good stuff. My PS2 is alive and well. Controller's a goner, though. Yeah, the controllers didn't have as much lasting power as the actual hardware. I need to finish playing through Suikoden 2 and also oh god, I want to say it's called Vantage Point, but I know that's not. Vagrant Story. There we go. Vagrant Story is a good egg. Socialism and authoritarianism are just different stages of the same thing. Yeah, explain. Why do you think that? Minutes without drama, 0. Indeed. Oh, I could have just dropped down into this pit. Yay! Thanks, game. Oh, god damn it. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I was about to get a drink and maybe a cupcake, and then bam, someone said something silly. Always do. Yeah, I don't like these sections in Dark Souls 2. I really like the general area aesthetics. I like a bit less the actual area gameplay. Ow. Fuck you. You guys gonna jump down here? Has anyone here read Worm, the web series? I have not. What is it? What's it about? I would think most rational people would view socialism as a philosophical philosophy, a political philosophy, and authoritarianism as a form of government, with stopping a government from being authoritarian and capitalist or feudal. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what one equating an economic system to a form of government is doing, which is why I asked the question. Why is your character puke green? Because I died and now I'm undead. And ugly. And I'll continue to get more and more undead and ugly looking until I use a certain item that returns me to being human. The ghost scared me. Is it okay to shout out another streamer that's a mini painter? Of course. Oh god, it's alive! I hate these little poison statues so much more than I can possibly express. Oh, I know One Hand Wonder. It's not very good bait, which is what makes it so strange. No! God damn it! I read the note. It said hurrah for rolling. I thought that meant there was an item. Just rolled to my death. Jamie Daggers? Neat. I'll check them out. The DLC adds more of the poison spitting statues. Well, yeah, it's below Black Gulch, so it's kind of a continuation. The city, there's a city under Black Gulch, and that's where like all of the poison comes from, in Black Gulch. Specifically, it comes from a dragon in Black Gulch, or below Black Gulch, in the city. Ow. Rude. It's a superhero setting that's kind of different take on it. The main character is Taylor Hebert. She does the wrong things for the right reasons, and she controls bugs. Oh, that's cool. I always felt like that was an underutilized power there's a character in the anime and manga My Hero Academia who can control animals, and at one point he controls bugs. Just kind of feels like an underutilized part of his character. Like he can actually do very horrific things to people. Saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy. It was good. Was it good? I haven't seen it. I've been pretty off about Marvel movie things recently. Oh, now I get it. Now I wouldn't roll to my death. Look at that. Oh my god. Yay. Ranged battle required ahead. Maybe if you're bad at the game. Psh, ranged battle my bum. Cried over the CGI creature multiple times. No spoilerinos, please. I will be seeing it eventually. That does kind of look like a shortcut that would be possible, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't trust you, Dark Souls messages. I've been burned by you too many times. Oh god. Is the sequel to the Spider-Verse movie out yet? Are you gonna play Sifu? No, I think I want to play. I think I want to try Hollow Knight. I want to give that one another try. Oh God, why are you so mean? God, why? No! Damn it! Why weren't you staggered? Why? Hollow Knight. By the way, I heard this term the other day. What is a jorbiter? I assume there's like some kind of streamer. It's a reference to that, but I don't know. Huh? Jorbiter. Jordan Peterson? No. I don't know, I'm just asking if any of you guys know. The freedom you feel when you remember you can just run past things in this godforsaken game. Oh my god, why? Does it have something to do with someone named Jai? I mean, maybe. I have no idea. A J.O. Herbiter? Boo. I'm still reeling from the anal railgun. Why? 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 Don't know. Go talk about that in the NSFW. I need an explanation. I don't think you do. I think it's probably pretty self-explanatory. You know, I'm just gonna... There we go. Oof. Hey, Catalina Gearbox. Aw, the Katarina helm. Man wore a plug while getting an MRI, but unbeknownst to him that it actually had a metal core. Okay, that's bullshit. There's no way he didn't know that thing had a metal core. The MRI accelerated. Yeah, it accelerated the butt plug into his chest cavity. I bet it did. All I'm saying is, when they tell you not to have things on your person, why are you going around with the butt plug in your ass to your MRI appointment? Don't do that. First of all, don't do that. Second of all, why? And third of all, how do you not know it has a metal inside? I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that it had a vibrator in it, and that he did not think of the possibility of that vibrator being made out of metal components. Is advertised as being 100% silicone? I guess it depends on what it was, I guess. Is that worse than the guy who insisted on having his gun on him during the scan? I assume since he's suing the company, he survived, so I'm gonna go with no. Not worse. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. No! Oh my God. Oh God. Okay, cool. It was mighty decent of you to wait. Oh, just leaving. Oh, he wants to help. This is the nicest thing I've ever seen someone do in a Dark Souls game. No! Oh God. Oh God. Can I fire an arrow at this? Aw. Thanks, Zam. The nicest dark spirit I've ever goddamn met in Dark Souls. Chat, Can you not talk about massive dildos? Ah, here we go. How's everyone's day going so far? Pretty good. Just heard Real Radhom say unvaxxed sperm is... Come on. Ooh, what is this? Oh, this weapon's cool. I like it. Want this? No, I don't. If you guys keep talking about dildos, I'm gonna mute you all. I don't want to see your dildos, no. I also don't want people talking about fucking railing each other with anal railguns. We have a place to do that. It's the NSFW on Discord. Try ranged battle? Nah. Damn. Why? Just go on the Discord. I assure you there's nothing sexy about that discussion. I know there's not. I can see it. Man, I really, really fucking need to hit a bonfire. What? No! Fuck. Okay. Please, for the love of God, let me find a goddamn bonfire. Hellscape. Actual hellscape. Oh, good. Oh, good. I found the boss room. Oh, God. All right. Why am I doing so little damage? we go. Tough enemy ahead. Well, no, I'm not. No. Damn it. I just need to find the bonfire. No, this does seem to have elements of that Chocolate Rain song. I hear it too. No. No! Damn it! I know I'm not finding the bonfires, and that is what is frustrating me the most. Got my drink and cupcake. Also makes my stepdad mad because they're rainbow cupcakes. Ah, yes. Eating rainbow cupcakes. The devil's work. Man, I made it all the way to the goddamn boss room. And Axioma, thank you very much for hitting the follow button. I appreciate it. Also, if any of you would like to throw some subs or bits my way, I'd very much appreciate it. Eat a full-size cake like God intended. Aw. You guys make me laugh. I like you guys. You're all right. I'll keep you chatters around. Oh, damn it. Pro gamer move. Oh god. Okay. While I bash my head against this segment of the game, we're gonna watch a Mad Orchard video that just came out. Because we can, and because I like Mad Orchard, and I think he's good eggs. Okay. We are gonna take a look at Matt Orchard.
I sat here and I told you I didn't want the Patreon membership. Yeah, I know you did. I'm just saying what.
You know what? Underappreciated element of Matt Orchard videos, how palatable he makes his call to join him on Patreon. Just wonderful egg, good egg. Like him a lot.
With that Patreon, you get early access to feature videos, so you can see them before anyone else. Just play the gosh damn video already. All right, you're the boss. You know, we've been uploading some creator commentaries, and a lot of people are saying, I'll play the video. These creators, you give them your views, and it's always the same. It's always more.
What did you see when you came home from work on Saturday? It's okay, Will. What did you see? What did you see, Will?
There's a very good reason William Hain is struggling to answer this question. Because what he would have seen when he came home from work on the evening of Saturday, August 19th, 2017, was just one of those sights so monstrous that it has no business existing in real life. And his level of responsibility for that sight remains somewhat of an open question. But there's no doubt that the primary offender in today's case was his girlfriend, Brooke Cruz. Will and Brooke had been having a bit of a rocky time of it in recent months, which isn't all that surprising, with 3 estranged children on Will's side, 7 on Brooke's, plus lengthy rap sheets of missed child support payments among other offences marking the pair of them. They were hardly the sort of couple that comes to mind when one thinks of a stable relationship. Exactly what the correct distribution of responsibility was for whatever specific problems they were facing isn't really any of our business. But apparently Will was the one to decide calling it quits was the best course of action, telling Brooke he thought they should break up earlier that year around January. Brooke disagreed with his assessment of things, and soon disclosed to Will the main reason she believed they should stay together. She had fallen pregnant. He was going to be a father again, and her a mother, and this time they would defy statistical probability and get parenting right, together. The good news for Brooke is that her pitch worked and Will stayed. The bad news for everyone is that Brooke was lying.
Oh,
and the thing with a lie like that is, it really does have a pretty concrete time limit on how long one can keep it going should they fail to actually fall pregnant, which Brooke did. So by August, she was really up against the wall. This is where a young woman named Savannah Greywind comes in. She lived downstairs in the same apartment building as Brooke Cruz and Will Hain in Fargo, North Dakota. There isn't a lot of Savannah in the public domain, aside from these few still photographs. The 22-year-old hadn't really had much of a chance to leave her mark on the world yet, but at 8 months pregnant and with a loving long-term partner named Ashton also eagerly awaiting the birth of their baby girl, Savannah Greywind's future certainly looked promising. And yes, that is where this is going. On August 19th, when Brooke Cruz asked Savannah Greywind if she would agree to come up to her apartment to model a dress she had been making, Savannah readily agreed. The two didn't have much of a history beyond passing each other in the halls, and with her ankles swollen from pregnancy, Savannah's afternoon would have been better spent sitting on the couch. But nevertheless, the young nurse's assistant opted to place the virtuous act of helping a neighbour above her own short-term comfort. According to everyone who knew her, that's just the sort of person Savannah Greywind was. She ordered a pizza to share with her family for lunch, but ultimately left before it arrived and walked up.
Yeah, like Matt Orchard is a good egg. I like his breakdowns of these situations.
Upstairs so as not to be late for her prior commitment. At about 1:24 p.m., Savannah entered Brooke's apartment. What happened next was so appalling that laying it out explicitly right now just feels like too much. Though fair warning, you will hear it stated explicitly before the end of this video.
Oh, no.
And in the unlikely event you haven't figured it out already, you probably will when we tell you that just a couple of days later, when the news was awash with reports of Savannah's disappearance, William Hain was telling his co-workers that his girlfriend had just delivered a beautiful baby girl. They named her Phoenix. Savannah's last movements on the 19th were fortunately put on record when she texted her mother and boyfriend to let them know that she was about to visit Brooke and pizza was on the way at 1:24 p.m. After that, her communications went dead. This alone would naturally make Cruz and Hain prime suspects in her disappearance.
I know where this is going.
Yet astonishingly, absolutely nothing peculiar was noted during a search of their apartment that very evening. No trace of Savannah, a baby, or anything. Nor during another search later that same night. Nor during yet another the very next day. Police didn't even observe anything they would classify as suspicious behavior. As a result, Cruz and Hain, while still being persons of interest in Savannah's disappearance, weren't seen by authorities as a log. That's something you need to keep in mind during William Hain's first police interview. He was picked up outside his and Brooke's apartment in the late evening of the 22nd for an outstanding $300 warrant concerning an unrelated matter. Detectives Joshua Luce and Nick Jonas obviously don't care about the warrant, which was merely used as a pretext for securing a no-notice formal interview. But they're not zeroed in on Hain as their culprit either. Right now, they really just want to get his story on the record. After that, he's going home.
I want to talk to you, Will, about this past weekend.
Okay.
Where were you at this past weekend? What was your schedule? What were you doing? Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, I worked. Saturday, worked. Not as much, half day.
Okay.
And then Sunday, I chilled, man. I think I was home all day.
So Friday.
I mean, I was home most of the day. I mean, I might have went around the neighborhood, but I didn't go far.
So, Saturday.
Yep.
Going a little late, get off a little early,
Yep.
and you get dropped off over at Brooks' house.
Yep.
What do you do when you get dropped off?
Damn it.
Go inside, go upstairs, go home. What's that?
Oh, damn it. That's a bonfire. I was there.
So probably about 2:30, yeah, something like that.
Okay, so you get
I
in,
come
you go
in.
upstairs.
I seen Brooke.
Oh, good
and
night,
she
Gamer
introduced
G.
me to that
Get
Savannah
good
girl,
sleep, okay?
And she just said, "Hi, honey, glad you're home. This is Savannah." Hey, I went to bedroom, started to like undress for my day, started my shower, and her dad fucking come knocking.
Savannah's dad.
Yeah. And then she took her off.
Did you answer the door, or what happened?
I was like fucking half naked in the bathroom. I just heard.
What'd you hear?
I just heard her dad talking.
Oh.
Couldn't understand what he was saying. I had the bathtub running.
Okay.
A lot of this is true. Joe Greywind did knock on the door of the apartment around 2:30 p.m. looking for Savannah. Brooke did answer the door, and Will was in the bathroom. So was Savannah's body. Brooke had time
What?
to change by that point, and Joe was not able to observe anything untoward when she answered the door. He was told his daughter had left.
I got out the shower. I went to the store, went and did some running around. And at some point, her family was back upstairs, like when I come back, because I had to be like, "Excuse me." That might have been later, though. That might have been after y'all had been called.
Okay. What were Brooke and Savannah doing when you got there?
They were in the living room.
Man,
Okay.
I do not like the audio
Said
feedback.
that something about fitting a dress for her. But like, I don't know if they were done with that or if they were still doing that.
Will continues to sort of hem and haw around happenings inside the apartment that afternoon, and eventually, investigators throw him a bit of a curveball. The incident Detective Luce is about to raise has never actually been 100% confirmed to have happened.
Did you notice anything when you came in? Were those two smoking weed or anything like that?
No, didn't have no weed, man. I've been fucking broke.
Has Brooke had any weed lately?
Dude, I pay our whole fucking bills, man. She better not have any fucking weed.
Okay, well, the reason why I bring that up is one of the people involved in this, or not involved, should clarify, one of the people that we've spoken to, which is probably approaching triple digits at this point, had mentioned to another detective that a week or so ago, Brooke went down to the Greywind apartment, to Savannah's apartment, and had invited Savannah to come back up to your place to smoke a joint. Does that sound like something that Brooke would do?
No.
Okay.
Because you smoke out of a bowl, because she doesn't have any weed,
Because she doesn't like people. She's a misanthropist.
Whether or not Will actually didn't know about this episode, if it did happen, identifying such behavior as being strongly out of character for Brooke isn't in either of their best interests, which he seems to realize after a moment, and tones
Some more
back his
news dropped the video
incredulity
today?
toward the
Ooh,
notion.
we might take a look at
Maybe
that.
she did. Maybe she did go down there and get a wild fucking hair one day and be like, "Oh, let me go approach this person and see if they want to smoke." But she's fucking pregnant too, isn't she?
She's like 8 months pregnant.
Right, so like I can't imagine her going down there and being like, "Oh, you want to smoke a joint, you 8-month pregnant girl?"
Sounded odd to me as well. And how long until you did come out then?
Well, Brooke come in at some point.
Well, she came in when you were in the
Yeah,
shower?
she jumped in the shower with me at some point.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe 10 minutes after that.
Is that a normal thing for you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sex in the shower?
Not that day.
This channel has pointed out before how intonation can give people away sometimes, and this is a great little example of that. Now granted, it's a personal question which could bring nervous laughter out of a lot of people, But listen to where Will places his emphasis in his response.
Sex in the shower?
Not that day.
It's not the idea of him and Brooke having sex or doing so in the shower that he laughs off, but the idea that they would have had sex in the shower that day. If nothing was untoward about the scene, then it stands to reason nothing about that notion would inspire such a response from Will. If their bathroom looked like something out of a Stephen King novel, however.
Okay.
It is, I mean, yeah, I was wondering if it's an intimate thing or if it's like, hey,
Conserve water.
conserve water or something.
No, it's, well, you know what? Probably more for me than for her it is an intimate thing because I'm a physical contact kind of guy.
There's a naked girl in front of you. Yeah.
Well, I'm a cuddler, man. It's straight up. I'm a straight up fucking cuddler. I'm a crier at movies, man. It's like I'm fucking softy like that, man. Like straight up.
There's plenty more talking, and the detectives continue to press Will on a number of things, while he, all things considered, does a pretty good job of acting none the wiser to much of anything.
Second,
Shortly
folks.
before wrapping up, Detective Jonas inquires about a
Damn it.
shopping trip Will made within an hour of being picked up for his warrant.
Where are you buying?
What did I get at home? I got.
Who's with you?
Brooke is with me.
Who's with?
I was buying. Shit, dude. I bought a new pair of shoes because I buy Walmart shoes and one got tore up on the roof. That's just my fucking house. It fucking literally fucking holes in them today, kind of like these. So I went and bought myself a new pair of roofing shoes. I went and bought like 5 fucking things. I don't remember all of them.
One item that he clearly just omitted on purpose was baby diapers. Neither detective knows about that right now. It's basically a coincidence that Jonas broached the topic right at the finish line. They'll find out about that purchase very soon, though. What's more, when they start asking around the roofing company Will Hain works for, they'll learn about him sharing the news of the baby girl the not at all visibly pregnant Brooke had apparently delivered not long after they first searched her apartment. Needless to say, at this point the penny truly dropped, and investigators realized just what a nightmare they were tasked with getting to the bottom of. A search warrant was promptly issued following these revelations, and executed on the morning of August 24th. With no notice to hide the baby this time, she was discovered very shortly after police entered the apartment, but still no sign of Savannah. Brooke Cruz was arrested immediately, and Will Hain apprehended at work shortly thereafter. Police had a lot of questions for both, but Brooke was the clear priority.
I'm Nick again. I don't know if you remember from the apartment or not. This is Josh. So we're both with the Federal Police Department. Obviously we executed a search warrant in your house. I just kind of want to talk with you about the circumstances.
Sure.
You know Savannah well?
Not very well, no. I mean, nobody in the apartment building, like, knows the other people very
Okay,
well.
it's not a real social building.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Cruz really is something to behold. Not in the sense that she acts like some sort of cartoonish villain. The opposite, in fact. Take a moment, if you can possibly bear it, to think about what Brooke did just a few days ago. That is, cut a baby out of a helpless and at times very much conscious, innocent young woman. The sights and sounds that would be fresh in her memory at this moment must be so horrific as to defy description. With that in mind, listen to the patter of her speech as she discusses Savannah's family.
And you said you don't know Savannah. How about her family?
Not very well. I know her mother better than I know, like, any of the other ones. Like, and that's because she works at the dollar store, and I go up and shop at the dollar store, so talk to her occasionally. Talk to her more at her job than I did actually at home.
Okay.
So,
She guys have made the connection.
Yeah.
Just, seen him around, this and that, whatever. That Brooke Cruz is feigning innocence is sort of to be expected. That she is doing so this passably is as astounding as it is terrifying.
In regards to the search warrant today, any questions or wondering where we're at with things, or?
yeah, well, yeah, I'm just update, like,
Sure.
I mean,
There's investigators at your house right now.
okay,
And they'll be there for a while, just finishing up the warrant.
right.
We're obviously very concerned about Savannah.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
that's why we're here. That's why
Absolutely.
we're at your house.
Okay,
Savannah was 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
When she went missing.
Yeah.
I asked at your house about the infant.
Yeah.
At your home.
Yeah.
You kind of danced around the answer to that question with me as to who, you said the baby's healthy, which is good, we want to put emphasis on that. My question to you is where is baby's mom?
When it comes to that, all I know is I was asked to take care of the baby for a short period of time, and that's what I've done. Above and beyond that, I probably should talk to an attorney.
As was noted in the Sandy Melgar episode, the right to an attorney needs to be appealed to directly for an interrogation to come to an abrupt, mandatory close. Voicing aloud that you think you should probably talk to one doesn't necessitate that your interrogators hit the brakes. And that won't be the last time Brooke almost asserts her right before falling short. It's not that she's stupid. As you'll see in due course, she's anything but. It's just that the rational side of her that knows what the smartest play is losing the battle with the irresistible urge to try to talk herself out of this. It's a human weakness that affects people both sharp and dull, and makes all of these sorts of videos possible.
Okay. So somebody made the request to you?
Yes. And I've just been trying to take care of this infant until I don't have to take care of this infant anymore.
Are you asking for an attorney, or are you willing to talk to us about that? Because, again, the health and safety of the infant is important.
Absolutely.
The safety of Savannah is important.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's what I want to know, so.
I can talk to you, I mean, I don't know, yeah, I guess maybe I am asking for an attorney. I want to be as cooperative with you guys as I can.
If there's anything that you could tell us that would...
Without lawyering up, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, help us find Savannah.
If we understand, and that's...
I have no idea. What I told the officers on Saturday and Sunday is absolutely true. When Savannah left my home at 2:45 on Saturday afternoon, she was well and healthy and walking on her own 2 feet.
Pregnant.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you want to speak with an attorney before making any further statements, that's fine. But you're going to have to just hang tight for a little while, okay?
Oh, how long is a little while?
As it will turn out, the answer to that question will be fucking ages. The detectives decide to put a pause in their interrogation of Brooke so they can go and spend some quality time with Will, leaving her to sit alone in that windowless room with no distractions from the harrowing images fresh in her mind for about 4 straight hours. Apparently it was pretty cold in there too.
We've executed a search warrant at your apartment.
Okay.
Brooke was home.
Yeah.
She's been down here for a little while. We've been chatting with her.
I figured that's why you guys have gone so long.
Yeah. What do we need to talk about, Will?
I don't know how to talk about it, man.
I want you to understand that we're concerned for Savannah's safety. We hope that you are as well. We would like to have the best possible resolution, whatever that may be, to be the resolution that we come to.
Right.
Okay? We want you to...
He's really the talker in this partnership, isn't he?
To be perfectly blunt about it, Will, let's get out ahead of this thing. I don't think it needs to get any worse for anybody else.
Well, it's not going to get any better for me. Like,
well, here's the thing.
At the point that I'm at, I mean, I'm not going home tonight.
You know, if we play this thing all the way through, okay, at the end of the day, people are going to be reviewing all of these things. You know, judges and, I don't know, juries, people will be looking at all of this.
Totally understand.
And I want to be able to give them some sort of reasonable explanation. Maybe not reasonable is the best word. Some sort of explanation that makes this make sense. I want to know what happened, but more importantly, Will, I want to know why. How did you, Will Hain, end up in this position? And I think that maybe you can explain that to me. The baby that's in your house, is that Savannah's baby?
I don't think so.
Whose baby is it?
tell you for sure, man.
Well, that seems kind of ominous. Where did that baby come from?
Don't have a good answer for that.
Is
Well, it's just fucking older, man. So
Is Savannah still in the building?
She was. You guys would fucking found her by now, right? I mean,
Why didn't you tell us on Monday night, Sunday, or Tuesday morning?
excuse me, what?
How come you didn't fill us in better Monday night, Tuesday morning?
Just cover my ass.
But the longer this goes on, the worse it seems to get.
Like, I've been under the impression for like months now that Brooke's been expecting, you know. Didn't think it could happen. She had a doodle down a long time ago.
Okay.
Did a little research, find out that those can come undone.
Sure can.
So, like, you know, I was under the impression that she was pregnant. Well, I have a fucking child abuse charge, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she stared shitless the whole fucking time that, like, when we have this baby, they're just gonna come and take the fucking baby.
Will is referring to an incident from 2011 that resulted in him being convicted of fracturing his infant son's skull. He claims it was an accident that came about from simply putting the baby down too hard, but he pled out to avoid a prison sentence of up to 10 years. We won't spend any time trying to evaluate how plausible that explanation may or may not be. His son made a full recovery.
Was she really pregnant? I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Okay.
But, like, I know that we're coming up on the time of, like, if you are pregnant, you should be producing a baby soon.
What Will just said here is very interesting. It's the word producing that's really catching our attention. Here's why. Later down the line, after these interrogations, Brooke's story will be that Will actually put all of this in motion. She will claim that Will did in fact clue on to her ruse after some months went by without her showing, and said that he would leave her if she did not, quote, produce a baby. He never said anything more explicit than that, but one day, not long before Savannah's murder, he remarked to Brooke how pregnant the girl downstairs was looking, which she took as a clear signal for what he expected her to do. Just the use of that somewhat off-sounding word produce that appears in Brooke's account is unsettling in and of itself, as it doesn't seem likely she'd be given an opportunity to review Will's police interviews. There are also plenty of reasons to doubt Brooke's story, which we'll get into later, but this one is definitely going in the pro column.
You know, she produced a baby, man.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you found a baby in my house.
I sure did.
When was the first time you saw a baby?
I don't want to say, man. I love Brooke dearly, and I promise to have her back 100% to the end. I promise to have her back 100% to the end, guys. And you know what?
Well, if Brooke did something and she's expecting you to cover for her, that is so unfair to you. It's unbelievable.
I know it would be.
But you also have to consider, I don't know what Brooks talked about, Will.
I don't.
And
No.
you don't know
you
what
guys
she's
aren't about
about
to tell me either.
No, you're right. I mean, you're
I
a smart guy.
I get
you
that.
know
I get how that goes, man. It's like you want to take what she said and then take what I said and then compare notes. I get it. I get how it works, like I told you the other night.
I just don't want her to be able to railroad you and you not have a chance to tell your side
I
of
don't
the
think
story.
she will, man. I don't fucking think she will.
Please don't.
Things change in police interview rooms.
Yeah.
The notion that Will is better off coming clean with everything now before Brooke gets an opportunity to paint an even more incriminating picture of him is something the detectives will keep coming back to. And they're not exactly wrong. Your version of events is still best relayed via a lawyer, but all the same. Will, however, will remain frustratingly steadfast in not throwing his absolute ghoul of a lover under the bus.
Where is she?
I don't know, man.
Because Brooke never left that apartment that I know of, but you did.
Yeah, I left a bunch of times. I don't know. Brooke's almost a shut-in, dude.
And this is where the opportunity to tell your story and not leave it to others.
Right, I get that, man. So, like, I met Brooke, and, like, for years, All I wanted is a fucking family, you know what I mean?
You wanted back what you had before,
Yeah.
because you were happy then.
Will Haynes' disclosure of a strong desire to have a family again lends further credence to Brooke's ultimate version of events, and raises the question of whether his reluctance to turn on Brooke is owed to the fact that he feels responsible, or actually is largely responsible for what she did.
So, like, at this point, she produced a baby and just told me not to fucking ask a lot of fucking questions, and, you know, it's our baby, and...
So that's the basic version of events that Will is starting with today. The stuff you recounted last time about briefly meeting Savannah was a lie. He came home on the 19th to find Brooke with a newborn baby that he was supposed to believe she delivered that day while he was at work, and that's that. Obviously, neither detective will believe that for a second, but they don't push back too hard on Will to begin with, just letting him share as much of his perspective as he's willing to, which includes some odd tangents about his misgivings of the women's movement and traditionalist views of how families should operate. In a particularly striking instance of tone deafness, he even takes some time to bemoan the stress that he and Brooke have been under, due to harassment from the Greywind family.
We're fucking being held prisoner, man. Straight up being held prisoner, yeah.
Is that what you were talking about when you used it several times? You used the term being terrorized by the Grey Wind. Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Dude, somebody slipped a note under our door last night that says, "We know you did it. We, N-O, as no. You did it."
What did Brooke say when she saw that?
She was ready to call one of you two. She grabbed them 2 cards that I took from you guys last time.
I wish you had. I do. I wish you had called. We'd have been there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of something that we were trying to avoid.
Do you know where Savannah is?
No.
Do you know if Savannah is okay?
No.
Does Brooke know where Savannah is?
I do not know.
It's around this point that Detective Luce begins to convey just how dubious he finds Will's current story to be.
I get the same response from her every time.
Which is what?
It's probably the same thing she told you. She left. She left.
You come home, she's there, you're in the shower, 10 minutes later, Brooke's in the shower, you go on about your business. None the wiser. Let me ask you this. The officers came through your house 3 times, I think?
3 times.
Was that baby in the house when the officers came through?
Not sure.
Clearly, Will is still in some sort of denial when it comes to what he has any ability to remain coy about. The detectives convey to Will that they need him to get real, continue to stress that Brooke clearly doesn't have his best interests at heart, and any instincts he may have to protect her are completely misplaced.
I don't think she's still there, man. Like, I really don't think she's still there.
Do you think Brooke is capable of doing something to Savannah? If she's maintained this facade to you for 9 months, and now she's got to go through with
I
it?
never would have thought that.
If that's what we're talking about here, then you really need to get out ahead of this thing for your own good.
Dude, it's really hard for me to say more, because, like, I'm just stuck in, like, this, in my head. It's like, dude, you promised you'd fucking have her back and protect her as best you could.
You don't owe her shit, okay? This is potentially unbelievably serious situation that you've gotten yourself into here, and you don't owe her shit.
You know that.
You may have thought you loved Brooke. If she's doing stuff like that, if she's stringing you along because you threatened to leave or she's that insecure or whatever, she does not love you. She may pretend like she does, for whatever reason. I don't know her, okay? If she's that insane, these are the things that she's capable of doing, then you need to distance yourself from her in a big way. Because if we go talk to her, and, for example, she says, will,
Thinking she's walking out of here by putting it on you.
Nobody's walking out of here, man.
Well, at least Will Hain isn't in denial about that much. The detectives continue to push back on Will's allegiance to Brooke, and after that continues to not work, Detective Luce makes a direct appeal to his conscience.
that's their daughter and their granddaughter.
And no matter what you or I think,
Are we assuming that's her granddaughter, or do we know it's her granddaughter? Do we know?
I'm assuming.
Are we assuming?
This is not good. Up until now, it seemed like Will had tacitly accepted that the baby found in their apartment was Savannah Graywin's, simply because that is the only conclusion that can be reasonably drawn from the facts he's acknowledged thus far. But now he's hedging on even that much, seemingly trying to leave the door open to the possibility Brooke really could have delivered the baby after all. If he's still going to try to cling to notions that patently absurd this late in the game, then Detective Luce and Jonas really have their work cut out for them, bringing him from that to the truth in a timely manner. Accordingly, a lot of their efforts over the course of the next hour are put toward hammering Will on the implausibility of the stance he's attempting to maintain.
You're in the shower together on Saturday afternoon. Now, I don't think that anybody's going to sit back and believe that you simply assumed, having had previous children, that your girlfriend had given birth to a child that afternoon and here you guys are together. Like, that's just not how that goes. And you know that because you've been there before for births. Nobody's going to believe for a minute, Will, that you were that naive. We've talked too much for anybody to think that you don't understand what's going on.
Dude, my stepmom told me that this was back in the day before they held babies in hospitals for 72 hours, you know. They do that now. She was up and shopping the next day. The very next day. Totally know it can be done. When Angela gave birth to my son, man, amazing trooper of birther. It was her first kid. They told her, okay, take a break, take a break. And she said, no, F that. She grabbed the bar and she bared down and the bullets kept on pushing because she could feel it was time. Her body told her it was time, you know what I mean?
So if anything, he's growing more confident. Again, not good.
Where'd you guys put the baby when the cops came?
The baby was right there.
You just didn't see it?
The baby was like right there in the bedroom on a stand, man. Just a little, like, she made a bed out of a suitcase is what we were going with. Like, I think it was a suitcase.
Just like on the dresser or something like that?
What Will is saying about barely hiding the baby is a part of his story that will never change significantly and has come to be accepted as the truth. The makeshift suitcase bed may not have been sitting on top of a dresser during the first search, and certainly not during all three. On one occasion, it was placed by the side of Will and Brooke's bed where it would not be in the immediate line of sight of police. On another, it's claimed the baby was lying on the bed next to Will. From there, the couple simply prayed that the infant would not begin to coo or cry. That such crude measures proved so effective does not cast Fargo PD in a very positive light. We'll talk more about that later.
We live in a world of realities and timelines. And we've got a good one right now. I do know that Savannah wasn't at your house long, and that whatever happened, it happened in a short amount of time. And you got home not that long after she arrived at your house. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, right?
Right. Like, I don't know exactly when but you guys should know
We
when
do.
the last time she was seen.
Yeah, and I mean when she was texting.
She was in multiple text message conversations.
Yep,
Oh,
so we
And we know the minute she stopped.
Yep, so we've got that, and we can narrow it down, and you told us what time you got home. And we've looked into that a little bit, and you're not lying, which is good. On the other hand,
the timeline these facts establish sort of make Will Hain look like he could be a murderer. That's what Detective Jonas is currently trying to convey in the most delicate way possible. It's already absolutely inescapable that Will assisted with the cleanup and ultimate disposal of Savannah's body. But there's room for things to get worse than that. To recap, Savannah sends her last text message at 1:24 p.m. and enters Brooke's apartment very shortly thereafter. After her arrival, Brooke had to lure Savannah into the bathroom before instigating her attack, which wouldn't have necessarily taken long, but still some time. Will Hain's own account puts him inside the apartment between 2 and 2:30 p.m. He was dropped off by a co-worker who can vouch for that time estimate. So Brooke's window of time to do everything that was done to Savannah before Will enters the picture is as narrow as 36 minutes, with an hour and 6 minutes being about as much as one could reasonably allow. Now, even the 36-minute scenario isn't too far-fetched, but the point is, all of this is tight enough that the idea of Will actually participating in some part of the atrocity itself, rather than merely the covering up of it, is also very conceivable. The detectives are trying to get that across in the hopes that Will Hain will come to the conclusion that he needs to roll on Brooke and to get his full story of what really happened on record right now before she gets her chance to roll on him. But for whatever reason, whether he truly does love this woman or he's simply afraid of her and feels like he needs to keep her in his camp, Will Hain will just not give Brooke Cruz up. Not entirely, at least.
I know you guys think it sounds fucked up. Like, I'm just thinking that's the flick of my ear.
I know.
Like, I know 100 years from now, like, no matter what happens between now and then, I know that she's gonna have my back. 100 years from now. Like, that's when it's just like, it's sitting here thinking, like, I know she's got my back. I think there's probably comfort in that right now. A little bit. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. That makes sense. I think it's a reasonable feeling.
It might seem surprising that the detectives do not push back on Will's feelings of duty toward Brooke like they have before, but clearly right now they feel the best play is to give him some space, which seems to prove somewhat effective, as he does eventually inch a little closer to acknowledging what she's done.
You know, I asked about where the baby come from, and the only answer I get is she gave me her baby, she left. Doesn't work.
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't work. Where's the baby?
The baby's safe.
You guys named her?
No, we didn't name the baby. What did you see when you came home from work on Saturday? It's okay, Will. What did you see? What did you see, Will?
It's not baby, huh? It's all baby shortly after I come home. It's a big mess in the bathroom.
What was Brooke doing? Things you wish you could unsee. So what did she say to you then, when you walked in on that?
She showed me the baby. This is our baby. This is our family. You said it was a big fucking mess when you came in the door. Can you tell me about that? It was like blood all over the floor, man.
And what was Brooke doing?
She's trying to clean her up. Apparently for birth. What'd you do with all the blood? Cleaned it up. Where'd you throw it? Where'd you throw the rags and the cloth and the tissue? I mean, where'd you throw everything? I'm not sure where it all went. It all went out of the house. Drove into West Fargo. Found a dumpster. Apartment building. She threw it out. Another different dumpster at a different apartment building. I don't know exactly where it was, but I think just threw it out.
Just random apartment building dumpsters?
Is she capable? Obviously she's capable. Doing what exactly? I don't know how far. Do I believe in my mind that Brooke could have midwifed the baby? Absolutely. Do I reasonably think it fits the timeline and everything going on? No, not really.
What do you mean by that? Brooke could have midwifed the baby?
Can Brooke, like, deliver a baby? Absolutely. Like, she even had, like, the midwife suppositories to, like, midwife a baby. Well, I felt like we were going down, like, the road of reality and honesty. I want to get back there, man. Like, could she? Yes. You're right. She could. You said it yourself in the timeline.
Oh, sorry. Pro streamer. Um, sorry about taking so long to get back. Had to have a little cry. Everything's okay. But you know, just had to have a little cry. I'm okay though. No worries. The important thing is everyone is healthy and safe. Anxiety is a hell of a drug, though. All right. Also, did I miss anything super important here? Like what's been going on? It looks like they're still in the same. They're still in the same initial interrogation. They cut. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Things are a bit tumultuous for you right now. We understand. I appreciate the understanding. Thank you for the grace. Ashley, you get good sleep, okay? You did use big work. Love you guys.
No, you walked into a lot more than that.
I know you're scared, Will. I know you're scared. But here's where we're at. And this is the time, if any time, where Will needs to think about Will. Because did Will walk into a fucked up situation and see Brooke doing something he never thought possible? Or was this the plan the whole time? I can understand that Brooke had the wool pulled over your eyes for some of this stuff, right? Some of that is believable. If she truly thought that you were going to leave her and this is the way to keep you around, and she's going to put on this act, some of that is believable. But when it comes down to Saturday, and you walking through that door,
Dude, I really don't know where she is. I know it wasn't a plan on my part, but I don't think whatever happened was her plan either. Like, I really honestly want to know if she's pregnant right now. Like,
Brooke?
yeah.
I don't believe so.
Does she not believe so?
As you can see, this section of the interrogation has an on-running theme of Will providing small dribbles of insight before backsliding into delusion.
Every day
or
is shut the
performative
fuck up
delusion,
Friday.
depending on how much one thinks he may have played a hand in this. The detectives try to get him off tangents like the possibility that Brooke could currently be pregnant, by emphasizing the notion he played no role whatsoever in the presumptive murder.
You walked in and you said, holy shit, or holy what the fuck, or what, I mean, what'd you say when you walked in, right?
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
I don't know exactly what I said.
You walked into a shitstorm. I mean, maybe not what you expected.
I'm saying what the fuck, I saw a baby and said what the fuck.
You have to have blood all over, right?
Yeah, and this pushing my pink blood all over for her.
And Savannah.
I'm saying that.
Interesting phrasing. Instead of issuing a denial Savannah was in the bathroom, Hayne instead just states he is not saying she was.
Well, that's all it is.
Well, consider the possibility of Brooke spinning a tale to try and save herself in this situation. You trust her that much that she's going to say, yep, I did it, it was all me. Will had nothing to do with this. I lured Savannah up to the apartment, I was ready to go, I induced labor, I took her baby, I killed her, I got rid of the body. Is that what Brooke's going to say?
Yeah.
Well, come on, man.
Nope, that's exactly what she said.
That's what she said to you?
No, that's what she said to you guys. That's what she said to me.
Do you want to know?
Without the killing part.
Do you want to know why? Because
back to reality of time.
I understand why you don't want to talk about Savannah with us, Will. Obviously the hardest part of this conversation.
As far as I know, was wrong. I know that it raised some red flags.
Will,
I know that there were some questions that needed to be answered. I know that all this shit got fucking crazy with the terrorists. Because that's what they are, the terrorists. When you terrorize somebody, you are a terrorist.
What?
Call it what it is, even though nobody likes to use that word anymore.
Sometimes
What?
it's almost as
What?
if Will can sense the possibility that
Nobody
someone
likes to
could
use
make
the
the
word
mistake of
terrorist
feeling a
anymore.
little bit sorry for him, and he makes a point of saying something to cut them off at the pass.
you may not have known whether Brooke was really pregnant or not. I can buy that. But to leave for work on Saturday morning and come home Saturday afternoon to a baby, just like you said, that isn't Caucasian, and a bloody mess in your
It was
bathroom.
more about the black hair. It was more about the black hair than the skin color.
And what about the blood and
Okay,
the black
wait.
hair? That's
Wait, chat. Was this guy in on it? Was this guy in on it? Or is this his, like, partner did this alone?
to the ceiling in the bathroom above your bathtub. What about that black hair?
This is a bluff, and a clumsy one. There was not a clump of black hair stuck to Willem Brooks' bathroom ceiling with blood. In the several days they had to clean the place, they would have
complicated.
clued on to something like that.
Gotcha.
So as you'd expect, Will doesn't fall for it.
Blood, black hair and blood.
In the bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a clump of black hair and blood stuck to the ceiling above your bathtub. Again, well, I'm not a medical doctor, but short of her being killed and that baby cut out of her, I don't know how she gets to that point within an hour of you coming home. Right?
We could have helped her deliver that baby and she ran away. We could have very well helped her deliver that baby. Said she could run away. That's a legitimate possibility.
Yet, this whole time Brooke's been running a facade that she's pregnant to keep you around. That seems oddly convenient. That it just so happens in your little apartment building on a quiet street in North Fargo, a young lady who's about to give birth is willing to give up her baby so she can run away to a person that's been faking being pregnant for 9 months to her boyfriend because she's afraid he's gonna leave.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Well,
I still don't know that.
well, a little bit ago, you were being real quiet and saying that you just can't tell me. You just can't tell me what you saw when you came through that door.
I saw a fucking baby in a goddamn mess.
In Savannah.
No,
I think you did. I don't think Brooke could single-handedly pull this off. I really don't.
I think you'd be amazed. You'd really be amazed by that girl.
So your girlfriend has a baby. Oh, happy day. She's cleaning up a big bloody mess when you get home from work. Better hurry up and clean it all up and bag that shit up and go drive it to a random apartment complex in West Fargo and throw away the evidence in a dumpster.
I didn't get rid of it right away.
God damn.
Well,
I didn't get rid of it right away.
so why not use your own dumpster?
Man, this interrogation.
Because the fucking Greylings were terrorizing us.
It's around this point the detectives decide they've gotten as much as they're going to from William Hain for the time being. And while it's not as much as they want, it's certainly not nothing. With his current account of coming home on Saturday to find Brooke with a newborn baby and a blood-soaked bathroom, followed by a hasty clean-up job and the dumping of a bunch of bloody rags, he has provided a story that transgresses very significantly from the story Brooke coached him on of came home to no baby. Savannah was there and
Oh, he
alive
pleaded
and left
guilty
while
in
he was in the
2017?
shower.
Okay.
So they've definitely got some ammunition to bring back to Brooke, who they amusingly greet in a manner as if they've only left her for about half an hour.
Sorry about that, Brooke. So, I guess my first question is, what charges
Well, that would be.
I'm not looking for any kind of deal, I'm not looking for anything. Right now I'm curious, before I say anything,
Mhm.
what charges am I looking at for having that baby in my possession?
Well, I'll tell you, that's not up to us. I suppose that would be dependent on what we talk about, if anything else, and depending on what we've been talking to Will about and what they're finding at your apartment as they continue to
Well, they
to
can't be
search.
finding much at my apartment because there's nothing at my apartment to find.
Okay.
So, all I'm concerned about now is what kind of trouble am I looking at for having the baby in my possession?
Sure.
So, you guys are detectives, you know.
I know some of what they found, I know some of what Will said. We actually haven't sat down with the prosecutors to really put it all together yet, as far as everything. I think there's a lot more to talk about.
Okay, well, let me start by saying that I met Savannah many weeks ago, and she was not happy. She was not happy with her parents. She was not happy with her life.
This has all since been admitted to be total bullshit, which had come as no surprise. Brooke proceeds to spin a tale of Savannah confiding in her all sorts of unhappiness with her partner, her family, and even the prospect of having a baby. None of this happened. They barely spoke to each other before that Saturday.
No, she just said that she was sick of it and wanted to get away. And, I helped her do that. And this is why I asked, what am I looking at here? Am I looking at obstruction charges? Am I looking at, I don't know. I was honest about Saturday that, that she wasn't there.
Mhm.
And she was supposed to come back for the baby yesterday, and she didn't.
Okay. So what about Saturday specifically then? Did you guys, or over the course of these conversations, you said you were gonna help her get away. How were you going to do that?
I basically told her how she could break her water and induce her labor and have her baby.
Okay. How would that help her get away?
Because then she could go. She didn't want the baby.
Okay.
She wanted to get away. And I told her, I can only do this for a couple of days. You're gonna have to find something else to work on, somewhere else to go. I can't. And so then, I briefly thought, well,
Fuck.
If she doesn't come back, I can go ahead and try and, claim this baby as my own if I need to,
Okay.
And, that's basically that. Other than that, there's nothing else I can tell you. There hasn't been anything else going on. I've basically just been watching this little baby, hoping that this girl comes back.
So you help her
Press
have the
X
baby.
to doubt.
No, I didn't. She left, and then she came back Saturday, actually, probably would have been Sunday, early Monday morning, around 3:30. I met her outside, and I took the baby, and then she left, and that was it.
Did she call you or text you?
No,
or
she
you guys
said she was
communicating?
no, she didn't have my number, she just knew where I lived, and I never leave my house. So I just kept a lookout for her. When I saw her, I ran down to grab the baby, I went back up, she was gone, and she said that, the baby looked real good,
Mhm.
and she said that, please don't tell anybody, I'll try to be back sometime next week, and that was it.
ZJ Harris, thank you for the follow.
How did you know to look out the window at 3:30 in the morning on Monday?
Because I've been up. I was looking, I'm always looking.
I'm still confused about her actually physically having the baby.
I would not know about that. I would not know about that. She was not in my apartment. She left my apartment on Saturday at the time that I said she left my apartment on Saturday.
Do you have any training in that sort of thing? Are you a nurse or something?
Well, I've got some nursing training and I've had kids. I know, a little bit about giving birth and what's necessary for things like that, so.
So what kind of guidance did you provide?
I basically told her that she could, I said, well, you know you can break your own water, right?
This
and
lady
bring on
though
your
is
labor.
going straight
And
to the
she
slammer.
said,
I
no,
can
I
tell.
didn't know that. And I said, yeah, I said, it won't always bring on your labor, but most of the time it will. And so I told her, I said,
I think one of the most fascinating things about watching these interrogation videos and like this true crime content is mostly just like there's something fascinating about watching someone lie like this, you know, and try to construct a consistent lying narrative, you know? There's something fascinating about kind of watching that happen in conjunction with like people trying to figure out who actually did the like what the actual story is, you know? The tension between fiction and reality.
you basically, you know, you get a long hook and you know, guide it up to your service and you just break your water. It's really easy.
What kind of hook?
I think what I don't know what she ultimately used, like I said, because she wasn't with me when she did it.
What did you advise her?
I told her to use a shish kebab, like a long shish kebab stick.
Oh, like for like a barbecue?
Yeah.
Grill?
Yep. You know, I don't know why I didn't assist you guys better. I don't know why I didn't come clean. But that's the truth of it. I mean, that's the reason why she wasn't in my apartment.
Like, what is this
That's the reason why there wasn't
lie?
a baby in my apartment Saturday both times or Sunday when the police were there.
Here's a thing about Brooke Cruz that will make her interrogation quite interesting to analyze. She's a pretty skillful liar. That might seem like an outrageous statement at first glance, because her story is extremely unbelievable, and pretty much everyone with an extremely unbelievable story is going to appear to be a terrible liar on the surface. But when you correct for that by accepting that there is no believable and exonerating story for her to turn to, it should become apparent that Brooke is very adept at working with whatever she's got. In this case, those searches. Unlike Will, who came to the normal conclusion that once a baby was discovered in their apartment, it was inescapable that he and Brooke had been deceiving police for several days, Brooke instead sees an opportunity to grasp. And we don't think it's a coincidence that she chose to emphasize a detail that could have easily gone unspoken. When the police were there. Fargo police are not going to be looking forward to issuing the disclosure that they searched a prime suspect's apartment on 3 separate occasions and failed to notice a newborn baby. Brooke is using that to her advantage. All good liars know that a lie is easier for someone to believe when there's something for them to gain from believing it. Your guys didn't find a baby in my apartment not because they're incompetent, but because it wasn't there. Obviously, this won't actually work, but it's just worth noting we're dealing with a woman who really knows how to play her hand.
I had no baby in my apartment then because the baby wasn't there then.
She...
What?
Brooke, obviously you've been in here for a long time waiting to talk to us.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been talking to Will.
Okay.
And then in communication with all the officers and other agents that are still conducting the search warrant at your house.
Okay.
What you just told us is completely untrue.
Okay, because you guys were there.
I wasn't there, bro.
Okay, so you don't know. Women leave babies in dumpsters every single day. Maybe not every day, but all the time. Women leave their babies.
And that's not what happened in this case, Brooke. And we're not here to raise voices or argue. I mean, we go by the facts, and we know what we have and we know what we don't have. We'll talk about a lot of things with us.
Okay.
He wanted there to be a strong trust between the two.
Okay.
And he talked about that.
I'm not sure how much he could have shared with you, considering he didn't know that much.
Well, Brooke, the lie isn't working, all right? There's evidence. There's timelines that can't be changed. There's things that we know,
Okay.
all right?
All I know is that I was supposed to care for that baby for a very short period of time.
Are you pregnant?
No.
Okay. Did you ever learn you were pregnant?
I thought I was several months ago, but other than that.
Putting on record that any notion of her being pregnant ended several months ago will prove to be a misstep for Brooke later on. She continues to stubbornly assert the truth of her ridiculous story, and contrary to the detective's warnings to William Hain, she does not attempt to throw him under the bus, instead putting all of her chips in on the assumption that he hasn't budged from the version of events he gave to police on the 23rd.
You know, I feel like you guys are trying to play me because, first of all, there isn't much that Will knows about this in the first place.
I believe some of that to be true.
I tried to keep him out of the loop as much as possible.
We asked Will about it, and he tells us his perspective.
Right.
And now we're asking you your perspective. But we're a long ways from your perspective when the evidence that can't be changed is here.
Right.
Will's story is right here.
Right.
And your story's out across the street about 3/4
My
of a
story
mile
is not
away.
out across the street.
It is. I can't change that.
My home was searched Saturday twice and Sunday,
Get her.
and there
Get
was
her.
nobody there
Yep.
except for Will and I.
Mhm.
So, you know,
And now the forensic teams are in there.
yeah, I get that. The forensic teams can be in there.
You've been at your house. You know that the Grayland family has had about 20 people on surveillance on that building
Yeah, I know that.
since Saturday afternoon.
Yes, I know
So
that.
to suggest that Savannah herself walked up with a baby at 3:30 in the morning.
I'm telling you, I walked out that door at 3:30 on Sunday night, early Monday morning, and there wasn't anybody out there. The people in apartment 3 were out partying, and everybody else was asleep.
The best lies are ones hidden amongst the truth. Brooke did indeed leave her apartment around 3 a.m. on Monday morning to survey the building and check that the coast was clear. Earlier, Will had hollowed out a dresser into which he then shoved Savannah's body before nailing the drawers back into place to conceal the dresser's contents.
What?
They had simply hidden her in a bathroom closet
There's
before that point.
so much
Another crude
premeditation.
deception police aren't going to enjoy learning they fell for. Will and Brooke then moved the dresser downstairs into the back of a Jeep, drove to a nearby bridge, and shoved the dresser over the railings into the Red River, taking Savannah's daughter along for the ride in a book bag. They
Oh my
went completely undetected.
Why was Will under the impression that you
What?
were pregnant this whole time?
This whole time?
Mm-hmm. See, we talked to people, Brooke. We talked to his coworkers. We talked to his...
Yeah, I get it.
We talked to his former coworkers.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. What do you think that he tells everybody that he works with and everybody he knows over the last several months?
That we're having a baby,
And why would he do that?
because we thought we were having a baby.
Or you told him that you...
No, I was under the impression that I was pregnant, officer.
Up until when?
Not that long ago. Like, I can't give you a specific date.
Give me
Like,
a rough month.
like, I thought I was pregnant right up until just recently, and then
It was just recently.
and then I was like, I gotta go to the doctor because I'm sick. And then look at me, I've been running a fever. For all I know, I have a dead fetus in my body right now, and it's making me sick. He knew that something was wrong with me, and I told him that.
But he also knew that you were no longer pregnant. Like, you
No,
knew
he
that you
didn't.
weren't.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't, because I didn't. Because I didn't, and I don't now.
You just
Good night,
told us
Archangel.
You thought you were pregnant.
Yeah, right.
The first question we asked, are you pregnant? No?
Yeah.
Was your reaction.
Are you pregnant?
No.
When exactly Brooke supposedly realized she wasn't pregnant is one part of her story she clearly can't decide on where to nail down. Starting with a couple of months ago, then claiming to still not be certain as we just saw, and soon she puts it at a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, I was just like, well, I should have had a baby by now, you know. And then I just kind of dropped the ball. I was just like, well, you know, whatever. There was no malicious intent to trick nobody about anything.
Normally forceful and sometimes borderlining on rapid in her speech, Brooke is about to slow down for a moment, likely giving serious consideration to whether an adjustment in her purported state of mind toward the prospect of caring for Savannah's baby is a good play or not.
And honestly, I felt like this opportunity was maybe a godsend, almost.
What opportunity?
The opportunity to potentially take care of a baby. You know what I mean?
Savannah, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brooke acknowledging taking Savannah's baby into her care was something she may have seen as more of a blessing than a burden can be counted as progress, but detectives still have a long way to go.
Seems to me rather coincidental that you're pregnant, you're expecting, you and Will are excited, but then baby doesn't come.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
No, not all of a sudden.
on a quiet street in your little apartment building in North Fargo, the young lady who's about to have a baby downstairs approaches you and says, I have to run away, take my baby.
It wasn't like
But
that.
but you know what I mean, you see, I cliff notes it, I'll grant you
I
that.
get it.
But it seems rather coincidental.
It does, and I understand that.
And now she'll inch just a little closer still to her true state of mind.
You know, I'm guilty of getting caught up in an idea that I should somehow make her baby mine.
Sure.
But as far as causing her harm or, you know, anything like that, no.
You didn't assist her with the birth?
No. You talk about the timelines and the chronology? Okay. She was at my house from 1:30 to 2:45. She left as soon as her dad came to the door.
Okay.
By 4 o'clock, I was out on the stoop with Mr. Graywind. By 4:30, the police were in my apartment. So by your own standards, detective, I couldn't have helped her.
I rest my case. I'm sure it all checks out.
I've been under siege.
Will has said that arguing with Brooke was always hard because she's so good at it, and you can see what he means here. Through the fog of anxiety she must be in the thick of, she's still managed to pay close attention to the logic her interrogators have been confronting her with, and then deftly flips it right back on them. And she's right. The timeline of events from that afternoon and evening that the investigators are postulating is nuts. It just also happens to be the truth. They have another part of the timeline to put to her, though, and while the revelation seems to make her nervous, she still won't budge.
So when Will gets to work on Monday, and his coworkers inquire about any baby news.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't there with him. I don't know what he said.
No, we know what he said.
I understand that, but...
Yeah, had a baby. Baby girl. Saturday night.
Guess when? Yeah. Saturday night.
Why would he say that?
Saturday night.
He told all his coworkers.
I don't know.
So what happens if Savannah's found deceased?
Oh. She better not be.
What happens if she does?
What happens if we find biological evidence?
Biological evidence.
Verify.
You might find a strand of hair from where she was sitting on my couch, but you're not going to find any other biological evidence.
What if they do? What if they find blood in your house?
They're going to find blood in my house. They're going to find blood from me. They're going to find blood from Will. They're going to find blood from my cat.
What if they find Savannah's blood in your house?
The only thing I can say about that is it didn't come from Saturday, and her family has lived in
Man,
that
it must be
before.
such a hard job to be an
Hold
interrogator.
on to your hats for this one. No blood will be found in that apartment.
Sorry, let me rephrase. It must be really hard if somebody is a police interrogator who cares about their job and isn't just like all about trying to get like poor black kids to like confess to crimes they didn't do.
anywhere. Yes, the grisly murder was confined to the bathroom, and yes, Brooke and Will had several days to clean like their lives depended on it. But still, not a drop? Again, it's nuts, and worth keeping in mind whenever you see a contentious case covered on this channel or elsewhere, and you're presented with an argument along the lines of, if A, B, and C happened, then surely you'd expect investigators would have found X, Y, and Z. It may well be a valid point, even a strong one. But always be very careful before labeling an outcome as impossible. Sometimes people just beat the odds.
What was going on when Will got home?
What do you mean what was going on?
What did Will come home to? What do you think he told us he came home to?
I have no idea what he told you he came home to.
Then what was actually going on when Will came home?
Savannah and I were sitting there talking. She was sitting on my couch and I was standing. I don't know what he told you. I don't know what he told you. And at this point, that's not my problem. My problem is to tell you what happened.
It is your problem what he told us.
I'm sorry, right. It
Okay.
might be my problem.
It makes sense what he told us and yours doesn't at all. And that's the point I'm trying to make here, Brooke. But we want to hear your side of it.
I told you my side of it.
And it's complete bullshit. It was there before Will came home.
No.
Yeah.
No. No. I disagree. I disagree. I don't know what he's telling you.
So this was Will then? I mean, that's what this comes down to, if we're gonna get down to brass tacks. How much did you do? How much did he do? Did you do it all together? That's what we're talking about here.
Do what?
Take that baby.
You think I took her, baby?
I think you took her baby.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, sir.
What else am I supposed to feel?
I'm sorry that you feel that way, sir.
The story that you told is not believable.
I'm sorry it's not believable. Neither is your assertion that from 1:30 until 3:30, I did something horrible to this girl, took her baby, cleaned it up, hid the baby. What?
Where was Savannah when her dad came knocked
What am
on
I,
the door?
super freaking human?
Where was Savannah when her dad knocked on
You
your
know
door?
what? I could have swore he looked and made eye contact with her.
Well, he didn't see her.
He looked right in my apartment, and you know what? Don't get me started on gray ones, because their story has changed.
She
a
thinks
lot.
she's real smart.
And words are exchanged between you and Savannah at that point?
Yeah, she said, here, please take care of my baby. And then she left. And that was it.
She said she's coming back this week.
Yeah, I hope she was.
You said she told you she was.
She didn't tell me that on Monday, she told me that on Saturday when she left.
So she literally told you on Saturday, okay, that should work, I'm gonna go do it? Or, like, it sounds to me like the way you explain it, Brooke, is that like you have this, you know, hour or less conversation with this girl about, you know, you can make yourself have a baby, like when you're ready to go, you can start the process. And in that moment, she was accepting of that, yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
She didn't
Out
say,
the door?
no, it wasn't really like that, it wasn't like that, it was just, you know, she was tired of it, she was upset, you know, part of me.
But you said when you went down to get her on Saturday afternoon, it was already, that whole sewing thing was just a ruse. That the whole plan was, that was how you were going to help her get away.
Right.
But then you didn't tell her about having her own baby until she was up in your apartment.
Right. So if anything, I'm guilty of, you know, maybe taking advantage of a distressed pregnant girl in the hopes that she would give me her baby.
To recap, we've gone from Brooke having the baby
Oh, my
thrust upon
goodness.
her and hoping upon hope for Savannah's speedy return, to seeing the prospect of keeping the baby indefinitely as a blessing, to preying upon Savannah in order to manipulate her into giving up the baby, all within a span of about 50 minutes.
The detectives that are at your house are sending me your internet search history.
Okay.
It's concerning.
Okay, I'm not sure why. Are you concerned that I listen to Alex Jones?
No, I'm concerned. Unassisted home birth instructions.
Yes.
Emergency childbirth.
Yes.
Manual. Preparing for unassisted childbirth.
Yeah. And when were those searches done?
Treatment-assisted baby.
And when were those searches done?
Hold on, there's a lot.
Man,
Whatever.
I was really
Whatever.
hoping for
It
another
is
fun,
whatever. Yes, it is.
Why is it
like
whatever?
true
Because
crime.
you want to talk about perspective, but you don't have any yourself.
I've got perspective.
No, you don't, because those searches were made months and months ago before Savannah even moved into that building.
August 9th, 2017, 8:54 p.m. Google. If a pregnant woman holds her breath, does the baby keep breathing? Question mark.
I didn't search that.
Brooke, it's time to stop bullshit.
I did not search that.
She did. Other searches of note include,
Oh.
if a woman dies pregnant, when does the baby die? Anatomy of a human
Oh my
torso,
God.
and queries on how to make a noose.
They're
Oh
gonna
my
find her blood in the
God.
goddamn apartment.
They're not going to find her blood in the goddamn
They're
apartment.
gonna find her blood. in
No,
the
they're
apartment.
not.
Yes, they are.
Evil
Will
goddamn
told us what
motherfucker.
happened. Yep. He told the whole damn story. He was sick. He was visibly sick, telling us what happened.
I don't know what he told you.
Well, now you're the one that doesn't care enough to even give her that. That's the truth. You don't care enough. Just number one, that you just wanted a baby. Didn't matter what. That's what I'm taking from this. That's all you care about. You wanted a baby and didn't care about anything else. Willing to do anything. At least Will cares enough to talk about it.
That's not true.
It is true. It's exactly true. That's the truth. You got it over your head. You told a
I
lie.
did get it over my
You told
head.
Will a lie that you were pregnant.
No, I
And you
was
saw
pregnant.
how happy it made him.
No.
You wanted to keep him around.
No, that's not true.
You thought he was gonna leave you if
No.
you couldn't give him a baby.
No, that's not true.
After issuing that relatively subdued denial of her proposed
She's
motivation,
super,
Brooke
super
decides she
guilty.
should be more forceful. But it only serves to make her come across as manic and unhinged.
You knew what you had to do.
I thought he was going to leave me if I couldn't give him a baby?
That's Will's perspective.
Right, I bet it's Will's perspective.
It is.
I bet it is.
Defiant as ever, but it will take just one more disclosure from Will's interview for Brooke to finally decide she needs to shut up.
How about all the bloody towels and things that Will went and threw away?
Bloody towels and things? Okay. Now I need a lawyer because I don't know what's going on.
That'll do it. Brooke is taken to county jail,
There
and the
you
detectives
go.
have one final go at
You
getting
should
the
have been
full
getting
story
that
from Will.
guy in the first
We want to
place.
recover Savannah's body. We want your help. I can't help you with that person. Like, I don't know where she is. You gotta tell us you can. I can't. You're a parent, man. I know.
We talked to Brooke for a lot more.
Yeah, a couple hours more.
Mm-hmm. She's on her way to jail. That was just the one thing she said that we'd have to ask you about.
This isn't really a criticism of Detective Luz, because investigators have to take certain gambles with the bluffs they make. But unfortunately, this one will turn out to be a big misfire.
Oh,
Will and
no.
Brooke disposed of the body together. By saying this is the one thing that Brooke couldn't give them, he's provided Will with a good clue that she did not in fact give up everything else.
It's the one thing she said that we have to ask you about. Because at the end of her interview, it was the same conversation. It's the one question left. What can we do to find her? You'll have to ask Will. That was the one part she was assertive about.
Implying a deficit of assertiveness on Brooke's part probably isn't the best move either. Will Hain does know this woman after all.
So she swears she doesn't know what you did with her. Is she lying?
I don't know what she said to you guys, and I don't believe you guys.
The deputy chief of police just sent me a text message. He's with the family, the Graywind family. They've accepted the fact that Savannah is gone. They are pleading for you to do the right thing. They want to give her a proper burial. Pleading with you, Will. Tell me where to go, Will.
Three of us jump in a car, you just tell us where to go.
person in your life that meant something to you? Because I didn't do anything.
You're right, I didn't mean to attack you, sir.
But that's exactly the point, Will. She made her decisions. She made the decision to string you along, to keep up this guise of being pregnant. What happened last weekend happened. You guys got way in over your heads. She's trying to keep the lie going.
So basically, they've managed to corner his wife, and they are trying to pressure him into giving up the location of the body. But they kind of boggled it, so now they're going to have to try something else because he's clamming up again.
Going. And she
Welcome
made
back, Tim
poor
Leonard.
decisions.
If you answer sugar that she's dead, let's just go for a ride and look at me for murder.
You're welcome.
That's pretty important too. So much, what if I ever had a baby?
That feeling, I don't know if you ever turned around on a playground and one of your kids wasn't there for 2 seconds until you see him behind the tire or whatever. I know that feeling. Her entire family's felt nothing but that for the last 6 days straight. And you can make it stop and let them start the healing process. It's a huge, I'm sorry for what's been done. Can't take it back. I'm sorry.
Detectives Luce and Jonas keep up their valiant efforts for some time still. But as you may have guessed, it really is just more of the same from here on out, with Will seeming to feel more sorry for himself than the distraught family he refers to as terrorists.
I'm not in the right frame of mind to keep on talking to you guys. I'm freezing. I'm starving. Probably in shock.
And what a shit.
And from there, Will Hain too is taken to county jail, leaving the question of Savannah's location unresolved. But it wouldn't remain so for long. 2 kayakers would have the misfortune of making that gruesome discovery just a couple of days later on August 27th. She hadn't travelled all that far from where she was unceremoniously dumped into the Red River, her body having gotten hung up on a log downstream. Upon learning of this discovery, the defiant woman you saw in that interrogation room appeared to become a new person entirely, confessing to everything.
Oh, shit.
Or at least her version of everything. Here's what that looked like by the time she was testifying at the trial of William Hain, who pled guilty to kidnapping and providing false information to law enforcement, but not guilty on the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, which carried a life sentence.
Cruz told him she was pregnant, but when she finally came clean, she alleges Haynes said he already told people and she had better produce a baby. Brooke Cruz went on to tell the courtroom how Savannah Graywind came to their apartment. They got into a fight and she pushed Savannah.
She hit her head on the bathroom sink.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
And fell.
Even your confession is bullshit.
And that was...
You premeditated the murder.
When I went and got the knife, I started cutting the baby out.
Is she still unconscious during this time?
No, she woke up. I continued cutting.
Oh, God.
And then I reached in and took the baby out.
And as she was doing this out-of-hospital C-section, this is the moment Cruz says her boyfriend walked in and soon grabbed a rope.
That's not an out-of-hospital C-section. I don't... That's way too charitable.
And pulled it tight around Savannah's neck.
And he said, If she wasn't dead before, she is now.
Cruz testified she and Hay never talked explicitly about killing Savannah or taking her baby, but after months of faking a pregnancy, Cruz says her boyfriend figured out she was lying and pressured her into getting a newborn to call their own.
I took that to mean that I better have a baby, and it didn't matter how I got it.
And so we're left with the question, is Brooke Cruz really telling the truth? Or are both Will and Brooke telling the truth in certain places while still lying in some of the gaps where they think it could help them? The fact of the matter is, there is absolutely no way of knowing for sure. It's an interesting example of a case that is completely open and shut in the main, while remaining surprisingly murky on some of the secondary questions. So rather than being prescriptive today, we'll give you a little overview of two broad scenarios, and the interesting if not somewhat flimsy evidence that supports them, so you can decide where you fall. Those two broad scenarios are, Brooke acted alone up until the cleanup, versus Will and Brooke plotted the murder in advance. Let's start with the question of credibility. It goes without saying that Brooke Cruz shouldn't be extended any benefit of the doubt on character grounds. But by the time she took the stand, did she have any motive left to lie? That is a not really, but situation. Not really, in the sense that she stood convicted at that point, with no deal struck for any leniency on her sentence of life without parole. But let's not rule out the possibility of Brooke making certain calculations that could be a little less clean-cut than angling for a reduced sentence. Once you're on the inside, there are people who can make life easier or more difficult for you. If Brooke thought the powers that be might look upon her more favorably should she help them put away 2 people for life rather than just 1, perhaps that could be motivation enough to keep making things up. A fellow inmate named Jennifer Robinson certainly contends that's what she was doing. She also took the stand and testified that Brooke confessed everything to her, including all the plotting and pulling the rope around Savannah's neck. Robinson too never had any prospect of a reduced sentence for her testimony against a state's witness. Perhaps the most vindicating detail for Will is actually found within Brooke's story. That is, that the instruction to kill Savannah Greywind for her baby was never made explicitly. No small admission, given this is not the sort of plan you would expect most people to be happy conveying with a wink and a nod. Which is a good time to circle back to the observation made about Will's use of that peculiar phrase, produce a baby, during his interrogation. The phrase, and its alignment with Brooke's story, is indeed curious, but not necessarily convicting. There could have come a time around August where Will was no longer able to not notice how little Brooke was showing, and an argument ensued, culminating in him saying something to the effect of, "You better produce a baby soon." Not in the sense of, it doesn't matter where you get it, as Brooke's deranged mind perceived, but merely, if it's confirmed you've been lying to me all this time by way of a baby failing to pop out of you sometime in the next month, then I'm leaving for good. Which wouldn't really even be unkind, let alone murderous. But there's a problem with wrapping a bow around that explanation. Will still denies any such argument took place at all. When he entered the apartment that afternoon, as far as he knew, Brooke was pregnant. So if this horribly misinterpreted, yet potentially exculpatory argument occurred, why does Will Haynes still want to lie about it? Is it perhaps because from where he's standing, he feels the closer one gets to the notion of him being wise to Brooke not being with child, the closer they'll get to seeing how his state of mind before he walked through that door aligns with his actions after? What Will Hayne would have seen when he came home from work was just one of those sights so monstrous that it has no business existing in real life. And then he got with the program. Immediately. He must have. Police were searching the apartment within hours, and as has already been stressed repeatedly, the cleanup job was so thorough as to leave nothing amiss to the naked eye. And perhaps more importantly, Will's own demeanor aroused no suspicion either, as he casually addressed the officers, while quietly keeping the corner of an eye on the newborn liable to blow his cover. Do these facts paint a picture of a man stumbling through profound shock, or entering phase 2 of a plan he'd been anticipating? Who's to say, really? But at the end of the day, Jurors found all these sorts of murky questions added up to reasonable doubt and acquitted him of the conspiracy to commit murder charge. Of course, the actions he admitted to were still a far cry from misdemeanors, and he was ultimately sentenced to 20 years for them, meaning he will get another shot at life as he enters his mid-50s. However you may feel about Dad, you should certainly be glad to hear that there is no such light at the end of the tunnel for Brooke Cruz. Beyond her own abandoned children, all that will remain of her on the outside is an old, scantily populated Facebook profile befitting of a shut-in. As a banner picture, she chose an image of adored comic strip characters Calvin and Hobbes, gazing up at the stars, and a quote from Douglas Adams. "I may not have gotten where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be." You should also be glad to know that Hazley Joe is fine. That's the real name of the baby two miscreants perversely referred to as Phoenix in the days following her arrival into this world. She's since been reunited with her father Ashton, as well as the rest of her family, and currently lives her life as a normal, kind, intelligent 5-year-old girl, who everyone notices looking more like her mother every day. It would be wrong to call it a happy ending, but sometimes a hopeful one is as much as you can ask for.
Damn.
There is a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly...
Sorry, my bad. Okay. How we doing, folks? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. There are just so many worms. So many goddamn worms. God damn it, we're just going right into this fight. God damn it. God damn it. They're all Havels. No. No. Oh god. Oh god, okay. Yeah, I deserve that. I saw this boss as a top 10 worst Dark Souls 2 boss video. Yeah. The boss run is bad. I don't like it. All these goddamn worms, god damn it. God. Well, chat, I am tired as fuck. And today was hard. But I love y'all. If any of you enjoyed today's stream, I know it was real kind of short and sweet at 3.5 hours, but if you enjoyed the stream, consider dropping a dono or some subs. I'd very much appreciate it. And we will raid over into we'll raid over into Shark. How about that? You guys have a good night. Much love, and we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll probably cover some politics content. Okay. Just got here, lol, but it was fun all the same. Well, I'm glad. We covered true crime, but it wasn't the fun kind of true crime tonight. It was, yeah. Shark's playing Tears of the Kingdom, the new Legend of Zelda game. Good night, everybody. Get good sleep. If any of you want to hop over to the Discord, again, riverboat.me GG/Discord if you want to join. We'll probably be streaming some movies. I might stream some movies. Come on over. Anyway, see ya. Bye.